Part 5, Chapter 26. Purpose. Hit your bullseye. When you step out of the house, you want to know where you're going. Likewise, establish goals in your life. So let's lay out this second lesson with exercises to focus on purpose for 1 week. It's the second of the 5 traits of consciousness and the guiding light to the following 3 aspects: conduct, socialization, and rulership. Proverbs 29, verse 18. Where there is no vision, purpose, where there is no vision, the people perish. This world can be ugly. Some people don't see a future or have lost hope in tomorrow. They will perish mentally. No future is a sure formula for anxiety. You must have an overriding pursuit in your life, something big, more vast, and better than you are at this moment, that you can devote your mind, time, and energy to for 20, 30, or 50 years. In this context, let's talk about your professional life. That brings in the money. Yes, you need that, and it aids with accomplishing all the other goals in your life. Think about a ship leaving port and its purpose. Get passengers to their future dream destination. First, it must know its end destination, and second, it must know how to get out of its present port. For this maneuver, its second-by-second surveillance often requires a local pilot and even tugboats. That is the same as the trip of life, the therapy for anxiety. Destination and first step. First, what is your future destination? Your purpose? Train driver, doctor, social worker, artist, pilot, entrepreneur? That's a big destination decision where you'll navigate rough waters. You'll gain experience during the trip and make course changes to keep on track. You must know yourself, your capacities, and your mindset. You cannot do this alone, but you are ultimately responsible for reaching the proper ports of call and, finally, your destination. You don't have to make final destination choices at age 18, 20, or even 30. But you need an excellent idea of some intermediary ports, or you will be doing circles in shark-infested waters. Goals change. It's flexible steadfastness. Second, how are you maneuvering to get out of the harbor today, in the next hour, now? Your purpose today. That's today's one step forward toward becoming a train driver, doctor, social worker, artist, pilot, or entrepreneur. With your compass, you can modify a course, even one small degree, to align yourself in the right direction. As a parent, psychologist, teacher, manager, or coach, it's your responsibility to help point a child, patient, student, or employee or client in the right direction and show them how to take the first step. Help them develop the how-to, step-by-step plan and receive the training and equipment, the intermediary ports, to launch their journey. Cast off one of the ropes attached to the moorings, the first detaching of a shackle imprisoning you in the harbor. Jump the first, even lowest hurdle in front of you. That's your initial victory to conquer anxiety. Realize you did it. Help the person monitor their performance, even if they make a mistake. A cruise, like the therapy for anxiety, starts with one tiny maneuver, one stage at a time. The what and how you'll accomplish that. Don't overwhelm yourself or another person. Time is not the significant factor here. The person and their initial stride forward are. A mistake in accomplishing the task is not a critical issue here. Trying is. We all make mistakes. Analyze why the person tripped over the hurdle and how she, he, or you can be helped to jump better. Maybe reduce the height. Perhaps you need to add a stage you hadn't thought of, like getting a more adapted pair of shoes or doing some leg muscle building first if you're a passive person becoming more active. It's why the therapy for anxiety focuses on one proverb, one step for a week. Meditate, pray, study, and talk to family and friends about it. Read articles, Benefits of Cooking on Mental Health, Why Eggs with a Recipe. Visit the library and find a good book. Summarize a few steps to follow. Think out of the box. Here's a quote. You don't have to see the whole staircase. Just take the first step. Vary the methods. Try something new and find related proverbs, parables, and Bible examples. This is practical Bible meditation. On the seventh day, you can analyze your maneuver and map out the subsequent 2 or 3 actions needed to get out of port. Personalize your therapy for anxiety. Whether it's for yourself or if you're a coach, trainer, manager, employer, teacher, parent, adult, adolescent, or child, personalize each step of the therapy for anxiety for the concerned person. Consider their age, mental level, intellectual, and manual skills. Mastery of space. Clean up. Organize a drawer, cupboard, room, all the way up to a factory or office. It depends on the capacity and state of the individual. Consider establishing a detailed how-to reach each benchmark. Learn a subject or skill, or enhance a talent you've always been intrigued by. Get one fact, move, and add more. Coaching might be necessary. Make each step short and attainable quickly so they can know they've crossed the finish line. Let their physical or mental creativity begin to simmer. Help their imagination to flow, just so long as it's legal and edifying. Compose stories, try drawing, pottery, and many other endeavors. In discussing this stage with them, remember the 7 steps of conduct. Maneuvers cannot be imposed. It must be their free will choice, just as with their behavior, whether to apply the step or not. There's self-reproach, recognition of one's error, and forgiveness of oneself from you and God. They're responsible for their decisions. They set the goal and are accountable. This chart, the compass, tracks the destination and the vision you're working toward. The goal is accurate, and the little-by-little steps in the 5 vital areas of consciousness will strike the target. The second week focuses on the vision and the purpose so we do not perish. To the contrary, anxiety is diminishing. Download the Google Doc and print a copy to plot and follow your course. You'll find more details and examples about Compass at this link, and you can leave comments and suggestions. Example and results of therapy for anxiety. Purpose. Many years ago in London, I went into this food store with a grill behind the counter. A disabled young man was learning to fry eggs. His manager patiently showed him how to clean, prepare the grill, break the egg, no shells and no broken yolk, and use a spatula to position it on the plate. A few days later I returned, and he was doing a perfect job. One by one, he'd mastered the cooking steps and was autonomous. Fry an egg and break down all the steps. If you have a young child, watch, guide, envision, and see the detailed steps to make scrambled, 3-minute, or hard-boiled eggs, and how to peel them. Then move on to an omelet, Eggs Benedict. Every kid and adult should know such basics. Proverbs 14:23. In all labor there is profit. Mental health is a benefit, but the talk of the lips tends only to penury. Staying tied to the mooring is a descent into anxiety. A person's purpose depends on their talents, skill level, and particularly their likes and dislikes. If all those criteria line up, then you get a direction. It's good to have a medium-term objective in mind, so the individual can see how the first and intermediary steps lead to a bigger feasible goal. The slightest movement to the destination activates the mind and reduces anxiety and depression. Once a person embarks on regular steps, no matter how minute, their mental health takes an upswing. Thanks for watching. Listen to the next chapter of Mind Refreshed. Click on the link in the description below or scan the QR code and buy Mind Refreshed to nurture and heal mental health. And remember, keep studying to reach the God-intended meaning of Scripture. See you next time.